Hey guys, today another tier list for Mythic Plus, Dragonflight Season 2, a little update. My last tier list is like 4 weeks old, I would say, so today we get a new one. Yeah, this here is my old one, just to show you that. Like I said, this is around 4 weeks old. We have some changes, not changes in a super crazy way like F tier to S tier, but yeah, that's usually not common anyways. So we have some changes, but let's get over it. We start again with the F tier. F tier is definitely the specs that you have kind of tough time getting an invite into groups, especially if we talk about hierarchies. The tier list that I make is in a range from plus 16 to plus 27, 28. So high keys, but most of the data for sure is in this range: 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That is the biggest amount of data for sure. So these three classes, these three specs are Unholy DK, Marksman Hunter, and Affliction Warlock. Definitely not good, not doing good at that moment. Don't get me wrong, you can make your weekly or whatever with this specs, but like I said, if it's getting higher, you have struggles getting invites because the other people know how it is. And let's get over to the next one, to the D tier. D tier, we have the Survival Hunter, we have Frost DK, we have Arms Warrior, we have the Feral Druid, we have the Outlaw Rogue, and the other rogue as well as a rogue. And then caster only 2, Demo Warlock and Arcane Mage. So if we look now already into what we had last time, as you can see, so definitely these two decreased a little bit. Also these three decreased a little bit, not in a crazy way, because like I say, only from the C tier into the D tier. So like I said, not a big change, but there is a change. Arms Warrior still there, Frost DK still there, Asa Rook still there, and so on and so on. So if you see between C and F tier, you still have kind of the same specs here. Yeah, not big changes at the moment. Then let's go over to the C tier. C tier is already is then the tier where I would start to say, okay, these specs are fine for playing some M+. Still not for the highest of the highest key. I would definitely not recommending playing these specs, especially if this class has maybe another spec that is doing better. But you know, it's not always possible that you just change your class or your spec whatever you want. Spec more easy, sure. So C tier, we only have one melee, and that's the Monk. And we have Destruction Warlock as a caster. We have then the Beastmaster Hunter and the Frost Mage. Let us hop over to look into the C tier back there. So also here you can see not a big difference. Beastmaster Hunter made a little step up, Frost Mage made a little step down, also like the Monk, so no big changes here. Let's get over to the B tier. B tier is then when it's getting interesting. Definitely already fine doing specs. Not a lot of to complain, but I also have to say there is not a lot of specs that we put right now into the B tier, because B tier is the middle of the middle, and we have here Demon Hunters, good damage, good AoE, good single target, good mobility, but in nothing super strong. So they just lagging everywhere a little bit to be on the top. Exactly the same you could say about Elemental Shamans. Yeah, they have great AoE, but they're lacking on something. So they are B tier. Can you play with those two specs already in very high keys? Yes, definitely. If the other 4 classes specs are fitting very well together and you bring something unique to the group, for example as a Demon Hunter, the magic damage debuff, it can work pretty good out, don't get me wrong. So that can make sense to play them or to have them in the group. So A tier already, I want to make it super clear, very good specs for playing Mythic Plus. The S tier is super small, so that's why the A tier is the A tier and the S tier, you could put it together if at the end if you want. These two rows, S and A tier, are meta defining. This is what it is about. And plus, this is the classes you wanna stack, you know, not really stack because you never want 3 of them in the same group, but usually you see them like in every group, in every good group, in every high pushing group. So we start with the melees. We have the Retribution Paladin. He's bringing a lot of support, damage, burst, great DPS. Enhancement Shaman, also very strong, and Fury Warrior, pretty strong. They also bring kind of everything that you want. If I put now also the 2 casters with Balanced Druid and Evoker, and now let us hop into the old tier list, as you can see. So Enhancement Shaman made a step up, Evoker made a step up, so definitely they're doing pretty good. Kept his place, the Balanced Druid, same with the Fury Warrior and the Retribution Paladin. So you don't make a mistake going full on those specs. They are doing well. That will not change anymore. Worst case scenario is a drop into the B tier. Best case scenario is a push into the S tier even. And then yeah, we come to the last but not least, or in that case the last ones, S tier. Awesome specs. You definitely want minimum 1 or 2 of them in your group. Maybe the best would even have exactly those 3 in your group. Yeah, they give you everything what you want. Burst, DPS overall, support, so stuns and stuff like this. Utility, I think it's called single target DPS. Everything they have. Survivability and stuff like this, they have everything. We have the Sub Rogue, we have the Shadow Priest, and we have the Fire Mage. And if you see, this is maybe the biggest change in all this tier list now. From B tier to S tier, the Fire Mage. That is the biggest jump. If we would have to crown a number 1, it's a Shadow Priest, so let us maybe do it like this, even if I always had usually melee and then caster. Or melee and then range. Definitely Shadow Priest is the best spec at the moment. Super tight, followed by Sub Rogue and Fire Mage. And yeah, that's it. That's the meta settled down. I would say these 2 rows, S and AT, are meta defining. You also see a lot of Elemental Shaman and Demon Hunters. This is what you want in your group. This is what you want to stack. The best case scenario is 3 of those specs in your group. You could even say only 3 of those, but it's only necessary if you really talk about high keys. You don't need for a +16 to have those 3 classes in your group. It makes it super easy, but you don't need it. You can go with anything. But if you want to play high tier and plus, it is necessary to focus on those specs. Usually, sure, you can bring one of those specs, especially if they bring something to your group that you needed, maybe for example like a Bloodlust or whatever, but overall S and AT are the meta defining specs. That's it for today, guys. Not a lot of changes. We have some positive surprises, or one positive surprise with the Fire Mage. Apart from that, only changes like C to D or B to C, stuff like this. But yeah, that's the meta. The meta is settled down. Choose your spec wisely, or choose your spec depending on this if you're focused on M+. That's it for today, guys. See you. Have a nice day. Have a good week. Bye-bye.